Welcome back to Regular Guys Outdoors. I'm Chris. Today I'm going to do some long overdue grinding. I'm going to do 3 separate parts today. But this first part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grind up plain old venison. Now the venison is from a little bit last year. It's labeled there, my mule deer from October. And what I'm going to do is just simply run it through the coarse plate and then run it through the fine plate. My instructions with this attachment say to have almost frozen meat and cut it into strips, and so you see frozen and strips. Sometimes you'll get the fascia and other connective tissue caught up in the blade, so while I'm swapping blades, I'll just clean that out real quick. Now we're on to the fine blade. And I'm going to use this ground venison for anything you'd use ground beef for, like spaghetti or tacos. Alright, I'm going to do a quick cleanup, then we're going to get to sealing. Voila! 2 nice bags. As I always like to do, I'm going to label what I got. So I got ground venison, and it's from my CO mule deer. Had to use the tape because the marker wouldn't write on the plastic. Alright, the second part of this grinding day is I'm going to mix venison with bacon. And same venison off of the Colorado mule deer, and I'm going to cut it with bacon. I'm going to use this to make hamburgers, pretty much hamburgers. So it's going to already have a bacon on there, so if you just put a little piece of cheese, you got a bacon cheeseburger already done up with venison and bacon. I've got bacon ends and pieces in here. They're a lot cheaper than just buying the regular strip bacon. Same grinding procedure, coarse then fine, same bagging procedure in the vacuum sealer, so we'll spare the details of that. You know, sometimes at the end of a season you end up with a lot of little bits of this and that left over in the freezer. Well, that's what I got, and I am going to make breakfast sausage with it. The seasoning is going to overpower any of the cuts that aren't prime, so it doesn't really matter. So I've got a little bit of everything here. I've got some deer from North Carolina. I've got some deer from Missouri. I've got some bobcat. I have duck from North Carolina. I have wild turkey from Colorado, the legs and thighs. And I've got a rabbit from last week that Eric and I got. And into that, I'm going to add a lot of these bacon ends and pieces to get some of that fat and just to get the bacon flavor, because who doesn't like bacon? So I was trying to figure out what to call this breakfast sausage, and I think I've got it. I'm going with Venibobturduconit. So here's my seasoning mix. That's for 4 pounds of meat, and I have 12 pounds of meat total right here. So I multiplied everything by 3. And I'm going to have a hard time getting it into my 2 metal containers, but we're going to give it a go and see how this Venibobturduconit breakfast sausage turns out. Got all my meat cut up now. I got my venison here, and some back here. I've got the mix and match turkey, bobcat, rabbit, duck over here, and of course the bacon here. I've mixed up all the seasonings, the recipe here times 3 because it's 12 pounds of meat. I go a little bit lighter in the salt just because the bacon has plenty. And I've got my extra containers because I'm probably going to need them. And I imagine I'm going to have to clean this out and get the connective tissue and this white stuff out of the blade once or twice, especially on the first pass through. Let's get started. Well, that certainly made a whole lot of ground meat here. So we got the various and sundry items all mixed in. I got the seasoning here. We'll start getting that worked into all the meat and then run it through one more time on the fine blade. So now that it's all said and done, I've got 3 pounds of ground venison, 2.5 pounds of ground venison with bacon, and now I've got 12 pounds of breakfast sausage with all kinds of different critters and bacon in it. So all in all, it's been a productive day. Now I got to get to vacuum sealing these just like I did the others. It's a lot easier and a lot cleaner if you make your patties beforehand, and then you can wash your hands so that you have one clean hand to work with the bags. So what we got are 2 4-packs of small ones, 3 2-packs of big ones, a 3-pack of mediums, 2 large packs, 2 small packs, 2 medium packs, plus 2 good sized ones I'm going to cook. Going to get these in the freezer. So now it's time for my son and I to try our Venibobturduconit breakfast sausage.
Well, it does taste like a combination of a whole lot of animals.
You know, if you don't like your patties bigger, you can cut them up and make them smaller.
Then you have yourself some Venibobturducon bits.
If you want to subscribe to us, I'm going to put that link right here. And I'm going to link my other breakfast sausage video right there. This is a great way to clean out your freezer from all the little bits and things you got left over. I hope you enjoyed our show. Thanks for watching.